to say, wherever we are, we can still be faithful. Now, let's look at this here. All right, I'll come back to that. So it brings me to the topic. This is one of the topics I spend time educating our community on, life insurance. Are there any business owners here? Anybody who has business owners or employees? Okay, then the conversation will be a little different. But life insurance, what do we think of when we think of life insurance? Just blurt it out. Maestro, what's your name, my brother? Rohan. Ooh, I like that. Rohan, yes, sir. What are your thoughts? You're very, for what? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. Any other thoughts? Life insurance. I know somebody had a hand up. Security. Okay. Okay. Somebody said security. Now, I know, like in my own, I'm from Zambia, and a lot of my community, when we say life insurance, the first thing we think of is dying. Yeah, they think death. Oh, and in fact, a lot of my people, Zambians, moment you say life insurance, they're like, oh, you want me to die? I'm like, you want me dead. But no, that is not the case. We have to educate ourselves about these things. And life insurance is one of those things. And really, I would say, if your goal is to build money and build wealth in this country, the foundation, of course, the foundation of everything for us is Christ, right? There's no mistake about that, right? Yeah. But also the foundation of building wealth in the U.S. is what? Life insurance. Yeah, it is life insurance. Now, let me show you something here. All right. So this is what we're going to look at here, just real quick. We'll look at this real quick, and of course, all of this, we're going to look at all of this from the biblical standpoint, but this is what our quick session today will look like. So we've already started with the definition there, why people need it. Yeah, who needs it, some misconceptions, and the different types of life insurance out there. So let's look at this. Our definition on there. That's the dictionary definition of life insurance. All right. Let's see. Somebody with a strong voice. You can just read that for me.
Life insurance is a contract between an individual, the policy holder, and the insurance company in exchange for regular premium payments. The insurance company agrees to pay a lump sum of money called a death benefit to the person choosing beneficiaries up their death.
Amen. Thank you very much. Yeah, so life insurance, it's a contract. You give the insurance company a premium, or you make a payment called a premium, and they are going to give you what is called a death benefit. Now, this is the general definition of life insurance. Now, let's look at this here. Why? Why should you have life insurance? I know our sister here did mention that for security purposes, but why would you get life insurance? I want you to think about this. God forbid, the inevitable happens. Death comes knocking on your door. You leave behind loved ones. Who do you want those loved ones to be taken care of or taken care by? Or who would you like to, take care of those loved ones you leave behind? Of course, that is, most of the times we see that as, a huge part, as far as leaving something behind for your loved ones. And so some benefits or why life insurance matters and why everybody should have it, for starters, well, okay, funeral costs. It's very expensive to bury right now, and You could use your life insurance as well for what? Debt and paying of mortgages. We've had situations where, again, a loved one either gets sick or passes away and they cannot make mortgage payments. Then what? You know, a whole family is left what? Destitute. Yeah? And so, of course, some of these are a little extreme, but hey, life insurance can also be used can be used for what? For children's education, to prepare for their education. It's not just about dying. It can also replace lost income. And we'll talk a little bit about this, and of course, at the end, we will have questions. Now, our session today is just general info. We are in the world. We have to be smart. We have to be wise, as the Bible says. You know, we have to think like the children of the world. Plan and think. You need to know all these things so that you're able to be efficient. So there are a whole lot of reasons or a lot of benefits to having life insurance. So these are just some of them, but it does provide that security. Now let's look at the biblical side of things here, just real quick. Why should you have life insurance? Well, first of all, life insurance is what? It's an expression of love and responsibility. A lot of times, we get text messages from our Zambian community, from our friends, so-and-so has died. Please, let's donate. We need to contribute. They didn't have life insurance. We need to contribute. Even if we're to contribute, most of us are struggling. We can only put up so much. Okay, you get together $2,000. What's that going to do? I know it's better than nothing, but the mortgage, that's maybe, okay, whole mortgage is gone. And then next month, it's not like the family can come again and say, oh, we're back again because somebody else has had a bereavement, you know? And so it's an expression of love and what? Responsibility. Now, is this being recorded, Pastor Madden? Yes. Okay, thank you.
It's recorded in a closed site.
Okay, I won't talk about what I was going to say, because
You can.
it shouldn't be on the air, though.
No, it's not.
Okay, cool. Okay. So the Muslims, I've got a lot of Muslim friends. Most of them don't believe in life insurance. Most of them do not. And so a lot of times I've had sit-downs with them, and a lot of times it's a matter of educating. You know, I've had sit-downs with them, and we'll go through, why don't they? But then here's the thing, too. Here is what the Muslims, one of their core big beliefs is that they have to take care of their families. That is huge in the community. So a lot of times we sit down, yes, okay, I hear them out first, let them share whatever. Let them share the negatives about life insurance. Or I'll ask, hey, when you are gone, who do you want to take care of your family? Do you want your loved ones to be on GoFundMe begging? You know? And so, it's an expression of love and responsibility. All right, so, as stewards, now that we have a young one here, you know, this whole topic, of course, life insurance is not just for those with kids, but there's something, you know, having a child opens you up a whole lot. Now, I know most of you here are more experienced with kids and so on, but there's a whole lot that we're learning now. You know, you have this person who is totally dependent on you. Once upon a time, Mr. Rohan, once upon a time, it was just myself and my wife. Do you know we could wake up, today we'd be in Salt Lake, and jump in a car, drive to Vegas. By the time you talk to us, we are in New Mexico. No, we can't do that now. We've got what? Greater responsibilities, you know. We thank God, you know. But each and every one of us is responsible for our families. God gave us our families. God gave us those in our care to what? To take care of them. To take care of them. So it's an act of what? Selfless love. Yep. Many spiritual paths, in fact, many religions emphasize caring for a family and community. Life insurance reflects a commitment to protecting your loved ones beyond your time. Yeah. Another benefit here, or a reason why or at least a spiritual reason why, is that life insurance is a way of leaving behind a legacy and purpose. Yep, it can fund causes. It can fund causes, like great causes. Do you know one of our churches? What church was that, babe? Was it in one of our churches? There was an older gentleman who passed away, and he left a great deal of money. Yeah. One of our churches in Minnesota that our families attend, he left a great deal of money to the church. And guess what? The church was able to do, man, we're talking about millions. They were able to do all their projects. They were able to do a whole lot of outreach and so on. And so we talk of purpose and all of that and leaving behind a legacy. Now, again, I hope this is, being recorded or not, but for most of our parents, I will speak about my own here. When my dad died, he left us with a whole lot of debt. In fact, my mom didn't even know about the debt, And so that was, of course, that was not his legacy, but, could he have done better? Absolutely. And then, of course, we talked of security, and also gives that peace of mind for you and others, knowing that you are not going to be a burden to those you leave behind. And the fourth reason, I'll give you two more here, and then we'll get back to a thing here, to our slides. I would say this. I wrote this down, that it's an ethical, having life insurance is an ethical responsibility. It's an ethical responsibility. Again, comes back to, who do you want? Your funeral has to be paid out somehow. Get life insurance, or at least leave some money behind for that. So those are just some of these, and we'll revisit them again here. But let's look at this. Some myths about life insurance. In fact, before we get to the myths, what myths have you guys heard about life insurance? What are some misconceptions? Just what have you heard about life insurance? My sister, you look like you've got something to say. Go ahead.
It's probably not a good thing, but
Go for it. Good, bad, and the ugly.
Sometimes when you're listening to those shows and husbands get life insurances on the wives, or vice versa, and then they're found dead, somehow or another, they were able to put life insurance on the spouse. They don't know it, and that's the best I can get.
Yeah. No, and that's true. It does happen.
But I think you watch enough of those things that you think, well, how has this happened? And maybe this isn't a good thing, because people might think they're being set up.
Sure, absolutely.
Like you say, your community of people.
Yeah, they want me dead. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Right behind you is a hand there.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Not too far in our community in Jamaica, there was apparently someone had just been buried, and then in the middle of the night, some grave robbers came and stole the body from the grave, right? And it was a whole big ruckus in the community. So they were wondering what's happening in the churchyard, And so they called the police and everything, and there was a big pursuit. You running after this car out, going all the way down to Kingston. Finally, they found the car. They caught the grave robbers, and they looked in the back, and they had the body of the deceased trapped in the back seat of the car, right? And apparently, they uncovered this ring. Tourists will leave from the United States, and they'll go down and fake their death. And they had to produce a body, right? But before they would have everything done, the body is noted and cremated, and they'll produce a death certificate. So these people will fake their death and disappear. But before they leave the States, they'll ramp up their life insurance. So the wife will get the money. The husband will get the money, right? Right, our husband, our wife, and they'll be rich. But that was a scam, and it was uncovered. So when I think of life insurance, I always think of stories like that.
Wow. And very,
The
very
dude
true.
on the side of the woman, they all floating off through your life insurance.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. All right, so that is what we call what? Insurance fraud. That is what we call that. Yes, yes, yes. All right, here are some other myths. Just some other myths. Yes. All right. So some other myths. They say life insurance is too expensive. That's, of course, a myth. Number two, if you're young, or if I'm young and healthy, I don't need life insurance. No. In fact, when you are young and healthy is the right time to get it because number one, it's cheaper. Yep. And with some of the life insurance, we'll get into this, you can actually use them to grow your money. And so imagine, my brother here, how old are you? Like 14? 22, okay, yeah. Imagine you are 22 right now and you get an account, a life insurance, yes, you're still protected and all of that, but at the same time, it's growing for you. How much money would you have when you are Pastor Madden's age, which is 23, you know? So the younger you are, the even better. Another myth, employers or employer-provided life insurance is enough. Now, some jobs will give life insurance, and some will give life insurance. Now, the myth is that it is enough. Now, this one here would depend, of course, on what your need is. Depends on your need, but also, we'll get into this a little more, but the life insurance you get from your employer, the moment you stop working, your coverage usually stops. Yeah. Another myth, stay-at-home parents don't need life insurance. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So right now, my wife and I work together, but right now, since the baby came, she's mostly with the baby. Imagine, God forbid, she went away, she died. Imagine the child costs that I'd have to incur. Imagine the interruption in the business and whatever else. And so there is a lot that the stay-at-home spouse does, a whole lot. If we were to sit down and measure it in terms of financials, it's massive, And so that's just another myth there. Another one is that life insurance is only used for funerals or burial costs, and we'll dig a little bit into that. And another, I can't get life insurance if I'm older or have health issues. That's a myth. A lot of times you have to, of course, sit down and look at what your need is, and you look at your options. Yeah. Am I going too fast? Is this making... Okay. We're still awake, right? Yeah. We didn't eat too many veggie spring rolls at lunch, did we? All right. Okay. So let's look at this here. There are 4 types of life insurance. I'm going to keep this basic. My goal today is just to expose you to what is out there and what you can do with it. What is out there and what you can do with it. Now, there are 4 types. You all see them on there. Group life, there's term life, there's whole life, and there's universal life. And all these 4 can be grouped. Go ahead, Pastor Madden.
I was just thinking, in terms of, and you mentioned earlier, I don't want to interrupt you.
Sure.
But you mentioned earlier the idea in your sermon even this morning, which I think was done beautifully, the whole idea of burying your treasure, right? And so it seems to me, based on what you're saying, is that this life insurance, it's an investment. Now, in a sense, you're investing in, possibilities. Whatever. In a sense, you need to be responsible in terms of, now, my wife is, she's tapping my leg now, so I lose my thoughts. Thank you very much. What I'm saying is that it's an investment in the possibility of what may happen or what may not happen.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Now, let me ask this. How many of us here are going to die? You may not have a plan, but yeah, okay, okay. How many of us here are going to? Are we recording? Are we recording, broadcasting? Okay, okay. It's not going to be. Is it going to be on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that?
It's on in a closed channel YouTube. It's not really aired.
Okay, meaning it's on the YouTube closed channel. Okay, no, that's fine. I just have to know how deep I can go with stuff because some things, yeah. Okay, so so on its own, so legally, life insurance. Yes, I know the analogy you made. It's not an investment, but what he's saying is that you are giving up something to get something. You are giving this. Instructions have been given, Pastor Madden, huh? You are giving up, and this is what Pastor Madden was saying. You are giving a premium to get a death benefit.